Good evening, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World and I'm Ertэнэтлээ Инхамглам. On the News Mongolia today, agreement signed on the construction of the Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod cross-border railway. Mongolia participates in the 61st Munich Security Conference. The Smile coffee shop run by young people with Down syndrome is successfully operating. For other news, stay tuned. Mongolia and China have signed a landmark agreement to construct the Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod cross-border railway, a project expected to boost Mongolia's coal exports and significantly impact its economy.
The Prime Minister of Mongolia, Oyurden, met with Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, Li Chang, in Harbin. Following the meeting, the parties signed an intergovernmental agreement between the government of Mongolia and the government of the People's Republic of China to connect the cross-border railway at the Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod port. The agreement will be ratified by the State Grid Horal of Mongolia in accordance with Mongolian law. As a result, the construction of the cross-border railway is set to begin in April 2025 and be completed by 2027, as preliminarily agreed by both parties.
This project has been discussed since 2004, with more than 6 rounds of negotiations since 2008 over 17 years. After 3 recommendations from the National Security Council, 6 resolutions from Parliament, and 45 resolutions from the government, the project has finally been ratified today. The Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod cross-border railway will be the second railway connection between Mongolia and China since the 1955 agreement on the Zamingud-Irenghot Railway, making it a historic event. This is the 4th mega project out of 14 to be signed and move into the implementation phase. Its significance lies in providing a tangible solution to Mongolia's major aspiration of doubling its GDP and surpassing $10,000 in per capita GDP.
Mongolia exported 83 million tons of coal last year. With the construction of the cross-border railway, coal exports are expected to increase to 120 million tons initially and double to 160 million tons by 2030.
Beyond connecting this railway, we must also prepare our domestic infrastructure to handle millions of tons of coal, as instructed by the Prime Minister. Therefore, we will integrate the Tauntalga Railway and the management of Mongolian railways, especially to extend the railway directly to the mines, ensuring the capacity to transport this coal. China has been discussing coal exports with us since 2022, following the Mongolian president's visit. It is now time to implement these discussions. We are ready to conduct joint research and begin cooperation, including the purchase and sale of electricity, particularly renewable energy, signaling an opportunity for Mongolia to generate revenue beyond mining.
The Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod railway project is estimated to cost 979 billion Mongolian tugruks based on detailed design and preliminary calculations. Funding will be provided by Ertnes Tauntalga Company as decided by a 2023 parliamentary resolution.
The Mongolian Foreign Minister Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod led a delegation to the 61st Munich Security Conference in Germany, held from February 14th to 16th, 2025, where she engaged in discussions with global leaders and attended key meetings on international security and cooperation.
The Mongolian delegation led by Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia Gashuunsukhait-Gantsmod participated at the 61st Munich Security Conference in Germany on February 14th to 16th. Besides taking part in the conference, Foreign Minister Gashuunsukhait met with foreign ministers of countries and representatives of international organizations to exchange views on bilateral relations and cooperation. The Foreign Minister of Mongolia also attended the ministerial-level meeting of the Feminist Foreign Policy Network, which is traditionally organized during international conferences. The Munich Security Conference, which has been organized annually for over 60 years, is seeing increasing numbers of participants, including heads of state and government, military and defense leaders, heads of international organizations, academics, media, and business representatives, expanding into a leading world conference discussing international security policy.
In Ulaanbaatar, there is a one-of-a-kind place in the city where love and care flow freely. The Smile Coffee Shop, run by the Down Syndrome Association of Mongolia, is managed by young people with Down syndrome and their mothers. This coffee shop is more than just a workplace. It's a social project and training center that demonstrates how, within the right environment, individuals with Down syndrome can work, contribute to society, and enhance their social and communication skills.
In many countries, people with intellectual disabilities, including Down syndrome, commonly work in the service sector, while children with Down syndrome often have no trouble socializing during preschool and early years. Many face challenges integrating into society once they stop attending school. To address this, the Down Syndrome Association of Mongolia launched this social training project to help young adults with Down syndrome develop essential communication skills and build meaningful connections with the community.
The idea was inspired by the need for inclusion and empowerment. A coffee shop provides the structured environment with individuals can build skills, gain confidence, and contribute meaningfully to society. Our project, the Down Syndrome Association itself, we are working on several projects through some NGO, and we get support from some embassies such as Polish embassy, and since many years ago we have been working with Poland embassy and the Polish government helping us with speech therapy and vocational and many workshops we had. We haven't got any support from the Mongolian government yet, but we do hope that in the future we will get some support from the government.
At the Smile Coffee Shop, workers with Down syndrome take on various roles, including brewing coffee, making sandwiches, and interacting with customers. These tasks not only help them gain valuable professional skills, but also foster an inclusive environment where their talents and contributions are celebrated.
Hello, my name is Irtenbolt, but people call me Olaka. I'm 30 years old. I come to work with my mom in the morning. I love making coffee at work. Working at the coffee shop and serving many people makes me happy. I have been working here for 5 years. I've also taught my friends how to make coffee, and I was very proud of that. I've made so many wonderful friends here as well.
Each year, March 21st is observed as World Down Syndrome Day. This date highlights the condition caused by a third copy of the 21st chromosome, also known as trisomy 21. That day aims to raise awareness about the rights and abilities of people with Down syndrome and to encourage their inclusion in society.
Working in the coffee shop, our kids learn many skills. Our kids learn especially cash handling, communication skill, food preparation, and self-confidence and teamwork.
As you can see, this is a great example of how, with the right training and support, people with Down syndrome can succeed in any industry. It shows that everyone can contribute meaningfully when given the opportunity. Well, that was your reporter, Jargalma Duvshinjargal. Thanks for your attention.
You're watching News Mongolia. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
As of today, Mongolia's total electricity consumption has reached 1,600 megawatt for daily use. Of these, 80% is generated domestically, while the remaining 20% is imported. While the country's electricity demand has traditionally grown by 6 to 8% annually, last year it saw a sharper increase of 12%. To meet the rising demand, projects such as Boruljut and Bagnor energy storage facilities have been implemented, increasing Mongolia's installed power capacity to 1,832 megawatts. Regarding electricity imports, Mongolia purchased a total of 2.4 billion kilowatt in 2023. 938 million kilowatt from Russia, and 1.5 billion kilowatt from China. The country paid $197 million, approximately equal to 678 billion Mongolian tugrix, for imported electricity last year.
Thank you for staying with us. Now we'll shift our attention to currency exchange rates provided by the Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at international news provided by our partner agencies. The spokesperson for the UN Secretary-General, Stéphane Dujarric, reported on Friday that over 1,600 metric tons of food, supplies, and other forms of aid has been delivered to Syria.
Turning to Syria, our humanitarian colleagues tell us that over the past 2 days, 77 trucks carrying UN aid have crossed from Turkey to Idlib through the Bab al-Hawa border crossing. The trucks carried 1,600 metric tons of WFP food aid, as well as health supplies, blankets, and other items from UNICEF and the International Organization for Migration. Since the start of the year, nearly 200 trucks with food aid from the UN has crossed from Turkey. That's more than triple the amount compared to same time last year. To better understand the needs, OCHA is also increasing the weekly assessment and monitoring missions in Syria. This week, our colleagues completed 2 such missions in the Tel Rafat and Nubul sub-districts in Aleppo Governorate and 2 villages in the Suran sub-district in Hama Governorate. The teams met and discussed with local authorities and communities. Both missions revealed a significant scale of destruction of homes and infrastructure. There are no limits or there are no or limited health care and facilities and basic services available for hundreds of returnees. Many have returned from displacement camps in northern Syria, carrying nothing but their personal belongings. One sense of responsibility and humanity to put an end to this new. And just as a reminder,
the aid comes after the new interim government for Syria hits control in nation, after the repressive government of Bashar Assad was ousted in December. More aid is crucial to achieve a peaceful reconstruction during the post-Assad transition. The country needs to rebuild housing, electricity, water, and transportation infrastructure after nearly 14 years of war. The United Nations in 2017 estimated that it would cost at least $250 billion, while some experts now say the number could reach at least $400 billion.
Just as a reminder that many of the 6 million Syrian refugees in neighboring countries are weighing the momentous decision as to whether or not to return to their homes in Syria. Since December, UNHCR estimates that some 270,000 have returned home to Syria. And just on the political end, Geir Pedersen, a special envoy for Syria, is in Munich to attend the security conference. Prior to that, he participated in the Paris conference on Syria. In a joint statement, the representatives of the conference reaffirmed the commitment to a free, inclusive, and sovereign Syria, aligned with the key principles of Security Council Resolution 2254. They also urged for the setting of a clear timeline for constitutional reform and free elections. Participants also highlighted the UN's key role in the process and endorsed Mr. Pedersen's efforts. Separately, he had a bilateral meeting with the foreign minister of the caretaker government, Assad al-Shibani, reaffirming our support for the transition.
With few productive sectors and government employees making wages equivalent to about $20 per month, Syria has grown increasingly dependent on remittances and humanitarian aid. But the flow of aid was throttled after the Trump administration halted U.S. foreign assistance last month.
70,000 have returned home to Syria.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Goodbye.